students, this is the second video on how to draw faces. And the most important thing is to know some few basic tricks, but then really you have to be looking at a person in order to be able to draw them. If you are not looking at a picture or a person in real life or in a mirror, then no matter what trick Miss Russ teaches you, it is not in OT, not gonna work. You have to be looking at what you are drawing in order to get a realistic picture. It is so simple and yet so true. Okay, let's figure out how to go from this to a realistic human being. So first off, we're gonna start with the basics of how to draw an eye. So look at my elbow. Now you will notice, do you see how you can see the eyeball? If you look closely, you can see it under that skin. And then you can tell where the eyeball and the skull meet on both the top and the bottom. And then notice on this side, oh, Miss Russ is on the right there. You can, oh, Miss Russ, right there, you can see where the eyeball like sits. How crazy is that? You can also see the eyelid on the bottom on the inside, but you can't see the inside of the eyelid on the top. Okay, here's how to do that. So, tilt you down. So, in order to get the basics, you are going to first take your circle. Okay, notice how many times I drew it. I'm going to start with that C off to the side. I then am going to come up and over for the top eyelid, respecting the curve, right? I make that a curve. Then I'm going to do a backward C. And then I'm going to come down for the bottom. Now, some people have eyelids that are open really wide, right? And it looks like their eyeball is going to fall out. It's like way down here and way up here. And some people have smaller eye openings. So it all depends on the person. Okay. Once you've done that much, remember we saw part of this eyelid. So it helps to ever so slightly draw that in really lightly. The iris is actually a lot bigger than you think and is covered by the eyelid. So keep that big. And then the opening, the pupil, is based on the amount of light. Okay? And then from there you can fan out your color or you can add in your eyelashes. Some people think that they should do eyelashes like this, but look at Miss Russ. Her eyelashes just make a dark line, and in fact, they don't go up over the eyelid. See how they kind of go down over? It takes Miss Russ to like do something like this for it to go up over top. Do you see that? They really kind of poke down. So, except for these bottom ones. These bottom ones do little weird stuff like this. This circle doesn't exist in that sense, but it does exist as a line that tells us where the eyelid is. Same with this bottom circle. It doesn't exist all the way along, but it does exist as little shading lines like this that would define the difference in between the nose and the eye. All right, let's jump into how to do noses. So here's the trick with noses. Let's look at Miss Russ's nose. So guess what we all have? Nostrils. That's what makes up a nose. And then based on the nose, I want you to watch this center part. Do you see how there's not really a line, that shading, unless I do this? Oh, now, wrong side, Miss Russ. Now we can see a line. See, now if I go back like this, no line. Oh, there's the line. Okay, so because of that, you're going to look. See, I have a parenthesis, and then it comes up and down and connects to here, and then across. Do you see that? Okay, so I have three main tricks to make that happen. So, trick number one. Oh, Miss Russ can't see on her computer. Is you do a parenthesis, and then you just do a little, what I call apple seed, like that, okay? Trick number two, you do a parenthesis, but then you connect it up over into your apple seed, okay? Trick number three, you do a parenthesis, but then you do the tip of the nose because you don't really see an actual opening. And then, I guess trick number four, is I do my parentheses, but I don't see any of this connection. I don't see any of this stuff happening. I see it as separate. And sometimes these actually connect down like that, but I think it looks better to leave those off in the drawing. Okay, now let's jump into the mouth. Look at that. Now notice People like to draw a line here. But see, now Miss Russ purposely, just for this video, this is a Miss Russ with no makeup on. There's no line. Do you see that? What we do see a lot of is just color change. And it doesn't do sharp angles like we might think. And then notice that this ends before the edge of my mouth does. See that? Okay, so let's figure out how to do that. So, back down here. Here is what we start with. We start with that line, right? Like this. But that line isn't flat. So instead, take it and wiggle it around. Make it thicker in some spots and thinner in others, and wiggle it around. Then you are going to start by doing light shading lines where it's darker, closer to the bottom, and then gets lighter going up. And goes, look at your person, in the general shape of their mouth. Okay, and you're not going to get overexcited about outlining it like this. Don't do that, that'll look weird. Okay, so then to do this bottom lip, same thing. Let the lines form the edge. Okay, and then obviously, probably based on who you are, you might have thinner lips or you might have fatter lips. Okay, once you have that general information, if you just have to go in and provide a little bit more lining to what you've done, you sure can, but I wouldn't do these big solid lines like that. With that, that is kind of the basics of how to draw a face, but the best faces generally come from just looking really carefully at what you are drawing and allow your hand and your eye to connect. Happy art making. Bye-bye.